So, how do I know if a ferret would be a good pet for our household? Just like any pet consideration, we want to think about what's unique to the animal, their behaviors, and their traits, and if that fits with the lifestyle and the environment we're able to provide long before we bring that animal home. Ferrets are a very inquisitive, very curious, very active pet, and even a munchkin that can tend to get in trouble from time to time. That being said, they are very loyal, they are very playful, and they can easily be a pet that you can form a very strong bond with. Just ensure that you have the time, make sure that you have the environment and the space, and the willingness to invest in an appropriate habitat and nutrition because these are pets that require a lot of ongoing care. So, another common question I get is it okay to just have one ferret, or do I need to consider getting more than one? As amazing as the human animal bond is, and as beneficial as our relationship with our ferret companions can be, it will never replace the relationship and the social bond that your ferret should and can have with another ferret. We want to spend the time and effort and energy to invest in that relationship. But one of the single best things that we can ensure longevity and quality of life for our pet is to consider getting them another partner. Just like all of our pets, beyond ferrets, dogs, and cats, and otherwise, nutrition is the single most important decision that any pet parent can make. Ferrets are obligate carnivores, which means they rely on high amounts of protein and fat. So, number one, we want to focus on diets that provide that, and most importantly, provide that from animal protein sources. Secondly, we want to understand that in wild environments, ferrets naturally have very small amounts of fiber and starches that are part of their natural diet. Namely, the only place those would occur would potentially be from the gut contents of prey animals. So we want to understand that and try to mimic that in the diets that we feed them, focused on protein and fat and very limited and very small amounts of appropriate starches and fibers. Beyond that nutritional diet, what we want to be uniform, we also want to consider additional supplements. So supplementing them with additional amounts of animal proteins and appropriate nutritional treats should all be part of that overarching nutritional profile. So, we talk a lot about enrichment and how important it is in all of our exotic companion mammals, and that's especially true in ferrets. These are our naturally predators, so they are very active, they are very playful, and they spend a lot of time physically evaluating and investigating their environment. So, it's extremely important that we provide ample amounts of appropriate and healthy environmental enrichment for these animals. Their desire to play, to forage, to explore, to burrow, and to tunnel are all natural behaviors. And any environmental factors we can provide that stimulate that behavior are very, very beneficial for them long term. So, equally important to nutrition is selecting the right type of habitat. Number one, it needs to be a habitat that is specifically designed for ferrets. We know ferrets in a wild environment as a predator spend a huge amount of time exploring, digging, and tunneling in their environments. So we want to provide a habitat that provides as much horizontal and as much vertical spaces as possible. That means a habitat that has multiple levels. Now, as important as it is to selecting the right habitat, it doesn't diminish the importance of ensuring that these animals have time outside of their habitat to explore and be mentally and physically stimulated.